Is the reading section on the SAT really not your thing? I'll tell you, it wasn't for me either. I was super lopsided in high school. I had a 780 in math and a 640 in English. And now with the strategies that I use, I score a high 700 or a perfect score every time I take a practice. Laura Whitmore of Strategic Test Prep. Today I'm going to cover how you guys can find answers to main idea questions. Those are the hardest questions on the reading section. So I'm going to run through all the different types of main idea questions you'll encounter and where to look right now. The first type that you'll see is what best summarizes the passage. This is specific to the fiction passage, which is the first passage on every reading section. So when you get to a question that asks you what best summarizes the passage, skip it and save it for last. Answer all the other detailed questions, go find the answers in the passage, and that'll give you a better idea of what this whole passage is about. And then once you answer that last, it's pretty easy, and most of the time you can get it without having to go back into the passage at all. The next type of question is called the primary purpose of the passage. This is synonymous with the thesis statement, which typically is placed in the last sentence of the introduction paragraph. So if you're not sure what the primary purpose is, go to the introduction paragraph, read the last sentence. That's where the author usually puts their argument for the whole passage. Now there's one exception to that. If it's an old passage before 1900, they wrote a little differently back then, and the authors really like to cut to the chase right away. So you're more likely to find their primary purpose right at the beginning in the first sentence or two. The next type that you'll see is a main idea of the paragraph. These are super easy, guys. Your topic sentence is your first sentence of the paragraph. So just go to that sentence, read it, and that'll tell you what the whole paragraph is about, and you should be able to answer that question. The next one is the hardest type of the bunch. It's called a focus shifts question. And if you're not reading the passage, this one's a lot harder to answer, but my recommendation would be to go back, read the primary purpose or the thesis statement. So look at that last sentence of the first paragraph. That'll give you an idea of what the author is arguing. And then read every single topic sentence for each body paragraph. So read the first sentence of the second paragraph, read the first sentence of the third paragraph. And that way you can see what each paragraph is talking about and you can tell what the flow is. And then obviously read the conclusion just to see how everything wraps up. And that'll give you an idea of the whole progression of the passage so that you can answer a focus shifts question without having to read the entire passage line for line. The last type of question is called a central claim question, and it's exactly how it sounds. You're going to go right to the center of the passage. So what I like to do is count how many paragraphs there are. If there's 5 paragraphs, I'll go to the middle paragraph, so the third paragraph, and that's where I can find the central claim. I'll just read that paragraph. Or if there's an even amount of paragraphs or there's not really clear-cut dividers with paragraphs, I like to take the number of lines in the passage. So if there's like 80 lines, I'll divide it in half and I'll go to line 40 and then I'll give myself a cushion. So I'll do like 10 lines before and 10 lines after. So I'll read from like line 30 to line 50, and chances are the answer to the central claim question will be in there. The biggest thing, guys, is keep practicing, do as many reading sections as you can, and always go over your answers afterwards. Read the answer explanations, find out why your answer is wrong and why the other answer is correct. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what you think the right answer is. All that matters is what College Board thinks the right answer is. So you want to get in the heads of the test designers and learn how to think like they do, and then you'll be golden every time. All right, hopefully I'll see you guys again soon. Good luck on your next test.